Developers behind Razer Studio is constantly releasing updates for Automobilista 2, which is a really good thing. But I, on the other hand, don't usually play Automobilista 2.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In fact, I have uninstalled this sim title long back, just because the force feedback to me doesn't feel right. The force feedback does not give a direct connection with the car that I'm driving. I drive usually the GT3 cars in any other sim titles if I'm doing some competitive racing, and in Automobilista 2 there are like two presets in the force feedback settings that you can choose from, the default and default plus, but both of them feels a bit weird if I compare with other sim titles like Le Mans Ultimate or Assetto Corsa. And guys, it's really difficult to explain the feeling of force feedback in a YouTube video like this. So I will try my best to explain what I mean by a weird force feedback in Automobilista 2. As you can see in this video, I'm driving a GT3 car on the Nordschleife with some AI cars as well. So for example, in high-speed turns, I get the sensation of mechanical whine, or in other words, you can call it a very subtle static flat vibration from the wheel, which corresponds to tires getting scrubbed on the road maybe. I mean, in my perspective, that would be the case, but that should be dynamic. Visually, I can see the car is sliding sideways, and with a flat, non-dynamic vibration, it seems like the car is floating on the road surface. With this type of feeling, plus some unexpected oversteer, which I really don't understand why it happens, it just ruins the immersion, and also I lose the confidence in driving a GT3 car in Automobilista 2. I'm having a direct drive wheel, by the way, with a 15 Newton meter of peak torque, so I'm using the Fanatec Club Sport DD. But the force feedback is unnatural in Automobilista 2. It works really perfectly in other sim titles. So with the new update version 1.6.9 with physics revision in GT3 cars, I decided to jump into Automobilista 2 once again in the hope of getting an enhanced force feedback. But to my disappointment, it is the same. There was no changes in force feedback whatsoever. So it was pretty much the same Automobilista 2 I used to drive long back. Until I found that people are talking about custom FFB files. And to be really specific, there's one FFB file that I found from DanielKart. I will mention the link down in the description for you guys to check it out. The installation is quite simple. You download the file and put it in the Automobilista 2 documents folder. And when I launched the game and jumped into a GT3 car, damn, the FFB is, in my eyes, it was quite similar to the Le Mans Ultimate style force feedback. It was quite direct and punchier. I can feel the grip level change. It's quite dynamic when I'm turning the wheel to point my car to the specific direction. It feels dynamic, and the wheel has more reasonable resistance. And that unnatural subtle vibration I mentioned before, those are completely gone. So I can feel the bumps, the curbs, and the suspension of the tires, and even the road surface. It is quite natural to feel right now. All in all, I'm having better confidence in driving a GT3 car in Automobilista 2 with the correct and natural force feedback I'm getting from this file. Yes, I know that custom FFB files is prone to errors from the community. I mean, we are making the changes in the game, right? It's not inbuilt in the game itself. So I get it. There is a lot of things to be worked on from the developers in Automobilista 2. But having such sort of freedom in order to change the game's behavior when it comes to force feedback, I find it quite nice to drive right now in Automobilista 2. I mean, this sim title has a really good single player experience if you are more into that sort of things. The AI is really nice. I mean, it behaves just like human would behave in a race, and the graphics and visual fidelity is really awesome. Even in VR, I mean, Automobilista 2, I think, has the best optimization when it comes to VR sim racing. When it comes to the in-game force feedback settings and what you should set, you can open the custom FFB file and search or find your wheelbase name. Most probably it should be mentioned, and if you find it, just use that recommended force feedback settings in the game, and that should be it. If you are into Automobilista 2 or thinking about getting Automobilista 2 as your next sim racing title, do give this custom FFB file a try and let me know down in the comments if it brought improvements in your force feedback settings. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Until next time, see you. Bye bye.